Well, hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Shani and I'm a part-time reseller, and today I have a ship with me. Today is Saturday, it is May 31st. I can't believe tomorrow is already June. So anyway, this year is just flying by, but I have 5 items going out. So I sold 5 items yesterday, which is, it didn't seem like much. The net profit isn't going to be the greatest, but hey, that's my goal, is to sell 5 items consistently every day. Thursday, I did not do a video yesterday morning because Thursday I had no sales. So there's that. It's like Monday was great. Memorial Day was great. And then it just went whoosh and took a nosedive. So I don't know. I haven't been the best at posting anything either, to tell you the truth. Just my last few, when was it? Wednesday night at work. I was up most of the night, and although I did sleep Thursday night into Friday morning, I did sleep. I was like so far behind on my sleep that yesterday I was just exhausted. So I was actually kind of relieved when I hadn't made a sale, because I didn't have to do the shipping. So anyway, I know that's not the way to be, but it's the way I was. So okay, I had 1 Etsy sale and then 4 eBay. I'm gonna go ahead and do the Etsy. It is the best sale of the day. It's gonna go out in a 12 by 15 poly mailer. And pretty little summery color. I try not to spend a whole lot, but I usually get them on Amazon. I had some affiliate links, but my affiliate links, one of you said wasn't working, and I went in and I don't know what the deal is. So I got to figure that out. It's like when one thing works, another thing doesn't. It gets so like there's too much. Sometimes there's just too much. But this is to show you that you can sell winter items in the summertime. When I find things, I post them. Now, on my rack, my money rack, I have a lot of long sleeves that I just haven't posted yet. And it's because I have summer things, so I'm definitely going to be posting them before I am the long sleeves. But as I run out of things to post, I can definitely, just grab a flannel. Like, I will post a flannel in the middle of summertime if that's what I have to post. So I'm kind of feeling inundated with inventory right now because I have thrifted so much lately. But anyway, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I know my husband would probably appreciate the garage looking a little bit better than what it is. I absolutely hate that roller. This one's better, but I don't know where I think it's inside. But this is a vintage Pendleton women's virgin wool lined plum cropped blazer, size 6. That's my title. And of course it's wool, so it's got every little tiny little piece of everything hanging off of it. Very nice blazer. I definitely feel like the color helped sell it, and it's one of the reasons why I did buy it, because it was this plum purple color. I will show you also. Oh man, the thing with selling wool is it does like pick up a bunch of hairs or like little pieces of lint. Let me just show you though. I should have like lint rolled it a little bit. So this is a vintage Pendleton tag. It is lined. Look how cute that is. Very cute. So, this sold for, well, I got it November the 1st through the 3rd. when my sister and I went to the Goodwill bins in Kansas City. We made a trip up there, and we stayed the weekend. It's about 3 hours, probably to get to the Goodwill bins, probably about 3.5 hours. But I've heard that they're changing locations, so I'm not really sure where they're moving to. I need to check that out, but guess what? The bins in Rogers, Arkansas just reopened the other day, I think on the 28th, and that is the closest one to me. It's a couple hours away. Definitely could go in a day, and so I am counting down to when I can get there. I have missed that place so much. It was taken out last year by a tornado, and they have been rebuilding it ever since, and they finally had their grand opening the other day. And so there's that. And then Tulsa, Oklahoma got one, and that's about 3 hours. Like Kansas City is north 3 hours, and it's about 3 hours southwest of me. So I'm actually maybe going there with this next weekend with my sister, maybe meeting her. And I just pushed something on my Mac. I'm not sure what I did. Not sure what I did there. Okay. So very exciting. I really wish, I'm really unsure why we don't have one in this area. It's, you know, we're centrally located. I think it's because St. Louis has one, and we're definitely not as big as St. Louis, but I feel like this area would do amazing with one. So I'm not sure why. I know they're very limited in the states. Like each state has like 2, maybe 3, depending on how big the state is. But I definitely feel like the world could use more Goodwill outlets, right? Just to save things from going to the landfill, first of all. It cracks me up, people that put resellers down because, you know, they say it's our fault that prices are going up, and yeah, no, that's not it. Like, just go to an outlet and see everything getting thrown away and going to the landfill. That's what I like to tell them. And it's not our fault prices are going up. It's the businesses wanting to make more money and be greedy. So, you know, that's my opinion anyway. And I'm sticking with it. So, okay. At some point, you just give it up and you say, this is good enough. And if I was buying a wool jacket, I would totally understand that it's going to collect a little bit of dander just because, see, it's like I put it against me and it like pulled every hair off of, it's not necessarily hairs, but it's like these little lints that like just literally go right to it. Seriously. Okay. At some point, it's got to be good enough, right? Okay. Picking off lint as I go. That's the thing with wool. Okay, there we go. There we go. Looks good, looks good. Looking fresh, looking clean. Looking fresh, looking clean. Okay. Here we go. I am just wrapping it in some shipping paper. I don't know where my tape is. Here it is. All right, so there's that. What are you guys having for dinner tonight? I'm trying to decide. It just, you know, when you're like, this goes to show you like what a woman's brain does. It's like I should be focused on this, but I'm literally thinking to myself, what's for dinner? And it's 9:30 in the morning, I think. So anyway, there you go. There you have it. Okay, so I don't know if I ended up telling you. It sold for $26.99. My net profit after fees, shipping, everything coming out was $21.53. Not bad for picking up at the Goodwill outlet and having a very low cost of goods of 92 cents. And these wool blazers, they will sit for a while. They do for me, but I still pick them up because they still sell. So I would think, like, if you have the room for it, which I'm gonna be honest, I really don't, but it's very hard for me not to pick a vintage Pendleton wool coat up because they normally do sell. So if you definitely have the room, I feel like they're worth it. Just depending on what you got. So anyway, going out 12 by 15. Okay, eBay. I like to get to my solds, that way I can tell you my titles. Not that I'm the greatest at titles, but I mean, I think any little bit helps. All right, this is a vintage Northwest Territory long sleeve flannel shirt, plaid, men's size 2X. This is just kind of like the standard black and red, very nice vintage flannel. You can definitely tell it's vintage just by looking at it. It is that vintage acrylic flannel. I love these vintage shirts. I really do. But for those of you that do follow me, you know my thing with flannels. I buy tons of flannels every year. Then I have a huge sale at the end of the year. It's a $5 sale. So I normally will only get flannels if they're super cheap. Usually cost of goods around $1 or less. That's one of the reasons I love going to the Goodwill outlet, because I can stock up on flannels. And then this year I was like, I usually would just hold on to them put them in my storage unit. And then this year I was like, man, I really would like to kind of refresh and get rid of some of my flannels. So what I did is I posted them for $6.50 on eBay. And kind of marked it as like clearance, like old inventory. And I did not allow offers, but I did send out a 10% off, and this person accepted. So this is definitely old inventory. I'm just clearing it out. I'm just making back my money basically on it. Sold for $6.50 minus the 10%. My net profit is $3.65, which is not much, but I'm clearing out inventory, old inventory, and getting new. And that's the reason I did it. So there you have that. And this is I was actually surprised this didn't sell when I had my big sale. I was really surprised at that. So nice to get rid of an old piece of inventory though. Okay. What are you guys doing on this beautiful Saturday? Or by the time you get this video, what did you do on this beautiful Saturday? It's beautiful here in Missouri anyway. The sun is shining, which is amazing because it's literally, yesterday the sun was shining. It was so nice because we went through like a week of just flood, rain, downpour. My poor chickens, they are loving the sunshine. Okay, this is a piece I did get this year. My cost of goods was 63 cents on February the 25th. I got it in a bag sale. I always pick up any kind of like employee work shirts. This is a McDonald's crew Christmas shirt. It did have some like, had kind of some grease spots. I mean, of course it's, you know, McDonald's, they're going to have some grease spots. I actually was able to treat that. And after a couple washes, like it looks pretty dang good. But this is a McDonald's crew employee t-shirt, co-ed, size XL, Christmas ornament. Now, these don't sell for a ton. So like I'm never going to spend up on these. But I got it for 63 cents. Every employee shirt I have ever bought sells. I've purchased Chick-fil-A shirts before. I've purchased Walmart vests, Walmart shirts. This is like, I've had McDonald's before. It always sells because those employees are looking for some extra clothing. And if they have jobs like mine where you have to pay for every little piece of clothing you buy because the company doesn't supply it, and I don't know about McDonald's, but I'm sure they're not going to bring back this exact shirt, so maybe someone just wants it to have extra. And not only that, but think of Halloween, guys. People dress up on Halloween as certain employees, so who knows why this person's buying it, but they bought it for $8.09. That was with a discount, and my net profit is $5.45. And like I said, I got it in February, and I did not post it for a while. It just was, you know, if you don't feel like excitement about posting something, sometimes it just sits, and kind of that's how that was. And at one time I was like, do I even want to post this because of the grease spots? But I just kept using OxiClean and Dawn dish soap, and I finally was able to kind of mostly clear it out. So, all right, this is a Torrid Curve lightly lined everyday bra, wire-free, size 42C animal print. That was my title. Torrid does pretty well. Usually when I have a Torrid piece, it does sell, and not for a ton, but it does. And this is really nice. It looks like it was really hardly worn, actually. So this is a wire-free. Even if it's wire, I still ship them most of the time in a poly, unless it's like a big size that just doesn't fit well in a poly. I've never really had a problem with someone griping about, you know, how I've shipped it. So I got this on April the 1st for $2.51 at a Goodwill. I sold it for $14. My net profit was $8.81. And it is going out in a 10 by 13. I forgot to schedule a pickup, so now I have to take this to the post office. First world problems, I know, but I'm kind of a little mad at myself. Okay, last item is, I'm so glad these finally sold. It's a lot. I'm gonna leave the one in here. But this is a lot of natural uniforms, women's modern fit, luxe stretch, under scrub shirt, 2X, lot gray. That was my title. And it's just a medical uniforms base layer, basically, to put under your scrub top in the winter time. Or if you work in an office that's freezing all the time. I'm like cold a lot of times, so for people that work in cold offices. But there's two of these. I put them together. I got them for $1.18 each at the Goodwill. I think I got them on like 75% off day. These sold for $15, and my net profit is $9.27. So I'm very happy with that. I was a little scared because I initially couldn't find them on this rack over here, and I was like, I know they have not sold. And I had I wanted to put them on the same hanger, so I had folded them and like hung them over like pants. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. I hate when you have when you like lose inventory. It doesn't happen very much, but occasionally it happens. And I absolutely hate when I do that, but okay. So these 5 items going out today. I got a message yesterday on eBay from a buyer, and I don't know if you remember that. It actually just sold on Memorial Day. On Memorial Day, no. It actually sold that morning, Tuesday, the 27th. So it was a sale that came through right before I shipped. So I just went ahead and packaged it with my Monday's shipping. So on Tuesday, and I got a message saying, this package hasn't even left Missouri yet, question mark, question mark. I was like, ma'am, I screenshotted when I sent it, showing she paid and it was shipped into the post office the same day. And I replied with that. Like, I absolutely hate when you get messages like that are just like basically accusing you of like not doing what you should be doing. And I'm like, ma'am, you purchased this Tuesday and it's Friday. And so I just responded back with, as you can see, you purchased this on the 27th, and I also shipped this on the 27th, which is really good customer service, even though I have a 2 to 3 day shipping. I'm not sure what I can do about the post office. I mean, that's what I said, and I haven't got a response back, but sometimes I'm like, the goal of people, like, it's crazy. Yeah. So I thought I would mention, you know, if you are a buyer, like, you've got to read, first of all, you got to read what those people's shipping like policy is. I bought a lot of jewelry off of eBay, and after 4 days it still hadn't shipped. So I looked, and she clearly put 5-day shipping and handling, which I do feels a little excessive, but I don't know her story. She might live out in the boondocks and not be able to like get in somewhere. I don't know her story. Maybe she travels and she does, you know, she does it on the road. I don't know. But when I looked that up, I knew I couldn't say anything because she clearly put her shipping policy, and she shipped it on day 5. And I don't know, but I don't think like to actually do the tracking and see like that person shipped it and it was at the post office that same day. I don't know how it was my fault that the postal service held on to it for 2 days and it's still in Missouri. I don't know. But anyway, I just had to tell you, it's kind of funny. It's kind of hilarious, actually. So, and those people, I always get nervous that I'm going to get a bad review on them, but I'm like, I've done nothing wrong. So, anyway, just a little funny for your Saturday morning. But anyway, have a blessed day. Thanks for following me. And I try to post most of the time daily videos unless I'm just not able to do it. And yeah, thanks a lot. I'll see you later.